What's up, Facebook Live? Nice to see you. Instagram, what is up, friends and family from all over the world? We are on day number 72 of our 100-day personal performance and business growth challenge. Now, on this day, the topic is really simple, and it's an important topic. It's a topic that so often people miss nowadays, and the topic is something that is all emotions felt fully lead back to joy. And it's something you want to write this down, you want to memorize it, and you want to repeat it to yourself daily. All emotions felt fully lead back to joy. Now, so often we're in an interesting state in history where when we feel something that's good, we get really excited and want to feel more of it. We want to amplify it. We want to repeat it. We want to create it. We want to recreate it again and again and again. We're also at a time in history that's kind of funky when we feel something that we don't like, an uncomfortable feeling, a stress, a worry, a fear, a comparison feeling of feeling less than or not feeling loved or connected or whatever it is. We tend to want to change this feeling. And more often than not, people have some pretty shitty ways to change how they feel. So they go drink, they go eat, they go distract themselves, they go party, they go, watch TV until they can't think straight and fall asleep. And it's this weird thing that goes on in history where instead of learning how to dive deep into an emotion, we want to immediately change the emotion. And there's something beautiful about this experience when you can train yourself to deeply experience, to find eventual joy in going into the emotion instead of trying to get away from the emotion. All of a sudden you're freed in that experience. You find freedom, and freedom comes from the ability to stand and go deep into each emotion. My grandma actually taught me this unknowingly. I remember I called her one time and the phone was like, ring, 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 nothing, ring, 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 nothing. And then all of a sudden she picked up the phone and this is what I heard. I'll call you back. Click. And I was like, oh God, someone must have died. What happened? Oh my goodness. And my brain started making up all kinds of bullshit. I don't know if your brain's ever done this, but it's coming up with stories of like all the possible things that might have happened that is causing grandma to be so freaked out right now. And about 5 minutes went by. And then my phone rang and it said grandma. And I was like, hello? Hello? And she was like, hey, honey, how you doing? And I looked at my phone. I'm like, is that the same person? Because literally a couple minutes ago, she was like hysterically crying. And now she's totally fine. What happened? And I asked her, I'm like, are you okay? And she's like, yeah, totally good. And I just asked her, I'm like, what was that? She's like, what was what? And I was like, when I talked to you about 5 minutes ago, you were like hysterical and now you're fine. And she goes, oh, that's just a thing. And I said, what do you mean just a thing? And she says, I have this little rule with myself that whenever emotions kind of build up and I feel a lot of emotion starting to build, I go in my bedroom and I take a little egg timer, the little thing in the kitchen. And she's like, I turn it to 5 minutes and I set it down. And then I just allow myself to experience 100% of the emotion. I was like, how's that work? And she's like, well, in this case, I was feeling a little sad. So I went into my bedroom, I turned on the egg timer for 5 minutes, and I let myself feel every ounce of sadness that existed in the past, future, right now, and all my emotions and all my feelings. I just felt all of it. And then after about 5 minutes, when it dinged, I just started laughing because it felt so good to feel all of that emotion. I was like, that sounds weird. But there's beauty in this, especially at a state in history when we tend to like to run away from these emotions, to manipulate the emotions, to try to change them, to hide from them, to, the weirdest one to me is like something really great happens. And what do people do? Let's celebrate. How do we celebrate? Let's go drink alcohol, which is a depressant. Seems weird to me, but we're so often, dousing our emotions or hiding our emotions or blocking our emotions or pushing away our emotions. And it's something to learn how to, in the right place, in the right time, grab an egg timer, set it to 5 minutes, and feel it all the way until it leads you back to joy. I remember I was also hanging out with a beautiful group from One World Academy. It's a group of monks from India, really good guys. For my 25th or 26th birthday, and I was hanging out with these guys in Fiji, and they told me that phrase: all emotions felt fully lead back to joy. And I was like, wow, that's powerful. Like if you're angry, just be angry. Put it on for 5 minutes and feel as much anger as humanly possible for 5 minutes. Don't do anything stupid. Go in your bedroom, feel all the anger and watch. After 5 minutes, a circuit breaker clicks and you'll just start laughing. You're like, oh, that felt good. If you feel sadness, go do what my grandma did. Turn it on for 5 minutes. Feel all the sadness you can. Cry your eyes out. And then bam, you'll feel back to joy. You'll just start laughing. Be like, that felt damn good. And so it's a really simple message today. All emotions felt fully lead back to joy. So someone's saying, what if you feel those emotions a week straight? So here's what's interesting. The emotions, if you feel it only on the surface, if you don't go deep, can last a long time. If you go deep with the emotion and really feel it and don't run from it, go 100% all in for 5 minutes. I mean, try it. Try to get as angry as humanly possible. Put yourself in a room, lock the door, turn on a timer, and get as angry as you can. It's angry and angry and angry and angry and angry and angry. After about 5 minutes, it's exhausted, and your body will then, the circuit breaker clicks, and you'll start laughing. You're like, this feels ridiculous. And it'll click, and you won't know why it clicked, but your body's built this way. There's a really beautiful thing that happens, but you got to do it, and you got to go all in. So if you're feeling it for a week long and it's just a dull emotion, it's because it's dull. Don't let it be dull. Make it deep. It's like really go for it. Really push yourself 100% and watch what happens in 5 minutes. You'll free yourself from it. If it comes back, do it again and keep doing it until it leads to joy. I'll give you an exercise that really, truly, someone says, do we always have to know the exact situation that made us feel sad? Not at all. Exactly. You just feel the feeling. It's not about the cause. If you want to work with the cause, that's a whole different situation. Won't work with anxiety, depression, and chronic pain. So I'll give you something else. If you have anxiety or depression, chronic pain is different. So anxiety or depression, I'll give you something different. You want to train yourself to snap. Meaning you want to feel it fully as much as you can. Feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it. Do this with someone else in the room so they can have fun with you. Feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it. And go as deep as you can, deep as you can, deep as you can. And at the deepest part, burst into laughter. Now, the fun part is set the timer, do 5 minutes of laughter. You could fake the laughter. You could be real laughter. Doesn't matter. Just do 5 minutes of belly laughter, like crazy laughter with someone in the room and have them mimic and match your laughter. And what'll end up happening is, in the beginning, you might fake it, but after about 2 minutes of laughing with each other, you'll really start laughing. And then you'll just turn into like one of those like shit's coming out of your nose. You're just like, your stomach hurts because you're laughing so damn hard. And so what lands up happening in that is you want to train your body to naturally go from the deepest piece of anxiety and feel it. Don't avoid it. Don't run from it. Don't pretend like it's not there. Feel it. And then have it become the trigger that when you're feeling that much anxiety, immediately it sets off about 5 minutes of laughter. And so if you use the anxiety as a trigger to go deeply into the anxiety and bam, right back up to deep belly laughter, what'll end up happening is the next time you start to feel anxious. I've done this with a friend. He was nervous about getting on a train. He just couldn't do it. He couldn't get in cars with people. He couldn't get on trains with people. And we trained him in this little snap exercise, which is you go deep into the emotion. And the moment it feels like it's at the peak of the anxiety, you just burst into laughter. And he did it. And what ended up happening was he went to go get in a car. His palms got sweaty. He started getting anxiety. He started getting nervous. And then all of a sudden when he sat in the car, he was like, ha, 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 ha. And he's just laughing like crazy. And he's like, actually, I laughed the entire ride. It was hilarious for no freaking reason. Now, chronic pain is different. Chronic pain is being caused by something that's in your body. There's a pinched nerve. There's something that's off. That you're going to need to look into body work. So chiropractic, the Egoscue method. I don't know what kind of chronic pain it is, but you're going to have to look for something that's going to solve the physical issue. Because let me give you one more little hint here when it comes to emotions. When you've had amazing high quality sleep, you have high quality nutrition, you're feeling really good, and then you have some type of pain that shows up or anxiety, you can solve it. No big deal. But when you haven't slept, you haven't eaten, you haven't worked out, you're totally exhausted and worn down, you have this chronic pain that's nagging at you, you're totally beat up, and then a little tiny bit of anxiety shows up, bam, it'll level you and kick your ass. Now, the reason it leveled you wasn't because of what happened. It leveled you because you were already beat down. If you were the best, average, or worst version of yourself, you were the worst version of yourself because of the lack of sleep, lack of food, lack of working out, lack of everything else. That's what kicked your ass, not the stuff that happened. And so what you need to practice is, as best as you possibly can, practice getting yourself back to your best self, which is hard with chronic pain. It's very difficult because it's causing the pain that's preventing you from doing all the little stuff that makes you your best self. Therefore, you just saw a list of shit that came here, which was acupuncture, cryotherapy. What else is on here? Massage therapy, stretching, the Egoscue method, chiropractics. There's all kinds of stuff. You need to have someone who can help you with that piece that can help alleviate the chronic pain a little, to get high quality sleep, nutrition, exercise, movement, mindfulness, then work on this stuff. So that's a different category that doesn't apply here. What does apply, though, is all the other emotions people feel: happiness, anger, sadness, frustration, all these things. Feel it deeply and let it lead you back to joy. George says, what about guilt? Absolutely. Feel as guilty as you possibly can. Stack it on, stack it on, stack it on. And then when you feel the deepness of guilt and you're absolutely torn down, burst in the laughter. Same thing. Any really negative emotion, you can, or I can't even say it's negative. It's just an emotion. There's nothing wrong with it. There's a reason it's there. If that piece, what you do is you need that emotion to really feel it deeply until it leads you back to joy. If it's something that you want to feel less of, so that anxiety people want to feel less of, instead of running from it or avoiding it or drinking or drugging your way out of it, use it as a snap trigger to snap you back into something that you want to feel more of. So hopefully this is useful for you. Hopefully you enjoyed this little session. It's day number 72 of our 100-day personal performance and business growth challenge. God bless. Have a great morning, evening, afternoon. And I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow for day number 73 of our 100-day personal performance and business growth challenge.